Hello, we are back in the studio. Quite a bit of stuff happened. Quite a bit of stuff got done, which is why I've got green dye with me. So, looking at my list, last time we said, okay, moss farm, flower farm, enderman farm, witch farm, wither skeleton farm, and froglight farm. The moss farm is done and sort of decorated. So I'm going to show that to you, but I can also do that and that. So let's go have a look. Firstly, on the way to the moss farm, remember the little stupid glass box I built as my AFK spot so that the bamboo farm and the moss farm and the iron farm can all run at the same time? I think this looks a little better, don't you? It is not symmetrical by any stretch of the imagination. It is, after all, my build. Still want to do some decorating down here. The inside here is not pretty, but at least we got a bed here. And if we go up to the top, go over to this side, pumpkins and melons and bamboo there in range. And over there we have, oh, go this way, iron and moss. We have moss. I still haven't built anything around the iron farm, but we'll get there. So, our moss farm. There's a piece sticking out there. There's a reason for that piece. We go up here. It's a fairly standard moss farm. There's a clock. There's a clock down here. There's a stone generator up there with pistons doing clever things. Doing the stone generator and pushing stone over. If we go up here, is the business end of the moss farm. So the idea here is basically the stone generator keeps pushing over. That moss block there gets bone mealed from time to time, and then more moss grows. Water every now and then comes over and it washes the stuff off into the whole processing thing to get stored and turned into more bone meal. Problem I had was this piston used to be there, and it was literally just a pulse going into that, which supposedly has the piston pushing off anything on top of the moss block, and then after that there's a dispenser down there. You can't actually see it from here, but it's over there. There's a dispenser there that then bone meals the moss block, which worked just fine in my single player creative world. But when I put it into this world, the timing got messed up. And the bone meal dispensing and the piston firing happened at the same time, which means that the bone meal never actually did anything. So what I did instead was I built this clock. Did I pick something up? No, I didn't. I built this clock, which just constantly fires the piston, and then a tick later fires the dispenser with bone meal. And that sorted out that timing, but then I had an issue that half my bone meal was being wasted because you can't grow moss if there's water on top of the stone. This redstone block was here anyway, that controls the water. So if the redstone block is away from this, then the water runs. If the redstone block is next to this, then the water is stopped. So then there's no water. So I just stuck that down there with a repeater going into that block. And all that does is, if the redstone block is over that redstone there, then the dispenser is permanently powered, which means it's not going to dispense any bone meal. So while there's water here, the piston is going to keep pulsing. The power to the dispenser is going to keep pulsing, but because the dispenser is permanently powered, it's never actually dispense any bone meal. So that reduced my wastage. What then happens is the water comes up every now and then, and it washes everything into that water stream, which goes up here, and it goes over 2 hoppers. The first hopper goes into this line, and that line ends up in this composter and makes more bone meal. It doesn't make as much bone meal as it uses, unfortunately. The reason for that being that not all the items go into the first hopper. Quite a lot of them get across all the way to the second hopper, and the second hopper goes down here and along here and up there. So this hopper line here comes from up there. And then here we have a bunch of item filters. Standard impulse SV item filters. And anything that doesn't match any of the item filters eventually ends up in this composter and turned into bone meal. So we've got moss carpets, flowering azalea, moss blocks, pale moss carpets, pale moss blocks, more pale moss blocks, more moss blocks. And then this one doesn't actually get anything into it at the moment, and this one gets more pale moss blocks. The farm has 2 modes, moss and pale moss. At the moment it's in moss mode. As you can see, it's creating moss blocks. So then the stuff that it generates just comes in here. Anything that doesn't get filtered out, this is the one that's currently, it's got a spider eye in there, just something that, because this is supposed to be collecting moss, but I wanted more moss to end up here so that we can pick up bone meal from here. And I'm stuck. That's the wrong place. I need to go all the way over here, climb up. And we can top up. That. Now we've got a little bit more bone meal there. And we can just stick the rest of it in there. So this is the farm in moss mode. If I want to go to pale moss mode, all I need to do is get one of these blocks of pale moss out here. And go up to the top. here I need to, because I don't have any ladders with me, I was going to fix this. I need to be able to fly. So all I do is I break that and put bale moss there. And now it's growing bale moss. And there we go. Now it's producing bale moss. One thing, if you do use this kind of design, one thing to be careful of is just keep an ear out if you want to switch it off. There. When you see the water drops coming through there, then it's safe to switch it off. If you don't wait for the water, if there's no water running here when you switch it off, there is a button back here to just advance it one tick at a time. So it's as if the clock is running. You just click, click, click until the water comes out. If the water is not running, then that dispenser will keep dispensing bone meal. And you will waste all your bone meal. Let's keep it running. So this is the moss farm. I've got a little autocrafter setup going here. And literally just like that. I've been using this to make TNT. The reason I'm making TNT is because I want to build a tree farm at some stage. And I don't want to use a TNT duper. I do have a bed buried in the ground here as well. There we go. So that's our moss farm. Now let's take a look at, actually before we, the next one I want to take a look at is our, oh, I'm in fly mode, which is probably just as well. Next one I want to take a look at is the Froglight farm. For that we need to go into the nether. And as you can see, I've got a map marker there for Basalt Delta, because Froglight farms have to be built in Basalt Deltas. Putting them anywhere else is kind of pointless because you don't get magmas. Magma keeps flying. Great. So I've got a bunch of frogs in here, 2 of each color, and I've got a bunch of powdered snow blocks hanging in mid-air, and a hopper minecart collection system. There are some Froglights in there at the moment. Cool. But of course, for this farm to run, we have to be way up there. I suppose I am flying. I do am in fly mode, so I could just fly up there. Up we go. Just go in this glass box. And this is where we're AFK. As you see, magma cubes spawn. The powdered snow breaks them down to the smallest size. Once they're at the smallest size, the frogs eat them. And poop out Froglights. And then the minecart system picks them up. It's a very simple farm. I probably don't have... I can fall down. I probably don't have the powdered snow blocks in the most optimal positions, but that's close enough that all the magma cubes get killed eventually. And as you can see, there's a lot of froglights lying down there at the moment. And the minecart comes along, picks them up, and puts them into the unloading system. Come on. You can do it. Not very fast, is it? It comes up to the unloading system. It's unloading. It's done unloading, and there we have froglights and magma creeps. So that is our froglight farm. Actually, I don't need to fly all the way back there because I think I've got a set. Yes, I have a warp set for the flower farm. Hehe, subspace bubble. I've never actually warped from the nether roof to the flower farm. There are actually two flower farms here. This one, yeah, it's literally just, again, it's a hopper clock over here with three different routes for the pulse going out. The first pulse that goes out dispenses bone meal underground here, which makes the flowers and stuff grow. The second one pulses these dispensers here with the water buckets the first time, which releases water to wash it all out, and then there's a second pulse to pull the water back out again. Simple as that. It's just a simple little automatic flower farm. What I'm getting here, these poppies, blue orchids, dandelions. But because I was only getting those three flowers, I bought another one here in this flower forest. Exactly the same setup. And this one is getting just orange tulips, which is quite annoying because white tulips grow right here. But where I built the thing, and red tulips right here, but where I built the thing, what I'm getting is orange tulips. I should have looked at it better before I started building. I could have found a better spot to put this, maybe just a little bit more that way, a little bit more that way. I could have got the red tulips. Or a little bit more this way, I could have got the white tulips. If you look at those, they make light grey dye. So yes, that was a bit silly of me, but realistically, the only reason I built flower farms is because I decided to build flower farms. It's not like I need thousands of flowers. I just wanted to build them. So let's hop home. Let's do some chores. With the recent changes to to cactus with the cactus flowers. Cactus farms are not as simple as they used to be. So I haven't bothered. Sugarcane farms are still fairly easy, but I've got years and years and years on this world ahead of me, so I don't need to build a sugarcane farm right now. Someday I'll build one, but not right now. It's not necessary. Same with bamboo. That's a teeny tiny little miniature bamboo farm. Storage room, I've changed this a little bit. I've started using item frames because I found myself literally going like this and trying to read the signs to find the storage that I'm looking for. Now I can just go here and say, oh, hang on, there's bamboo. There's sugarcane. And that kind of stuff, so it's easier. Although for the sugarcane, I don't need to. Oh, I don't have. I don't have a spot for cactus yet, so I'm going to chuck it in, but it's going to end up in this area anyway. Maybe we should do one quickly. How does that sound? Let's put my dye away quickly, and then we find some cactus. If there's any more here, yes, there's more here. And there's more going in, but never mind. I need an item frame. Thought I'd made a lot more. But apparently not. Okay. Grab some leather. I'll grab some sticks. Make some item frames. We'll let the cactus go, yeah. Oh yes, it's empty. And then it's literally just a matter of going up here to this filter. And we put cactus in. And now we're getting our cactus in there. Those. Drop the item frames in there. I can have leather in there, but not the cactus flowers, because they go into this unfiltered one here. The decorative plants. So, that's Snake. And this is now officially Mr. Blobby. I couldn't put any yellow polka dots on him. This one is Snake. She's named after Snake the rat. The reason she's got a yellow harness is because the main cuddling spot in Snake's cage in real life is yellow. It's a little tent, a yellow tent. The other guy, where'd you go? That guy there is going to be called Bird. And his harness is going to be blue because Bird has a blue tent in his cage. Bird is also a rat, by the way. So I think we've seen that. That sheep looking at me? No, it's not. We've seen that, but we haven't seen the process of it getting built. So let's take a look at a quick time lapse. So that's the little AFK box. There's another bit of video that I recorded a while ago with some time lapses included. And that is, importantly, the start of the first real proper big project on this world. Way off in that direction over there. It's going to be a long-term project. It's going to take me quite a while to do. So while I pop into the studio to take my seat, let's have a look at that. So, if everything goes according to plan, I can put a little bit of a time lapse in just after this bit of video. I've started work on a major project. It's going to be a big project. It's going to be not just this little island. It's going to be this little island and at least this valley, possibly this part here and this part here as well. And it's going to be a big project. It's going to be my first proper big project on this server, on this world. So first thing I did was I did a bit of design in creative mode for this island, then brought it in with Lightmatica. So you should be able to see the outline of the Lightmatica schematic, and I did some time-lapsing of building the outside wall. but there's quite a bit of other stuff still to do on the inside. So let's go on with that while I natter a bit. So what do we natter about? As I record this, episode 5 of the Past Life series has dropped, and it is epic. Port Tango is out, unfortunately, in the most unfortunate way too. He deserved better, but yeah, well, at least his funeral was a lot of fun. Oh, that's supposed to be water, okay. So yes, it's fun watching the old versions of the game. Oh, come on, just like watching the old versions of the game being revived for Past Life, and the really old Minecraft game mechanics showing up. And the OGs like Etho and B-Dubs reviving all their old knowledge from when they started playing this blocky game. It makes for a lot of fun seeing them show people the really weird stuff that people used to do in the early versions of the game. But anyway, so the plan for this area, I'm going to, well, I'm not really too concerned about spoiling. What I'm concerned about is over-promising and under-delivering. The basic idea is I'm going to put inside this wall is going to be a sort of a castle kind of thing. So these are the castle walls, and then I'm going to put some sort of building in here, or a couple of buildings in here. You know, it's a general, there's an ancient keep kind of thing. And then on the outside here, down this valley, and maybe down this way, and down this way as well, I'm going to build it down around the castle. The idea being with a village here and a village here, if I build it down here and I put buildings with beds in them and stuff like that, I can move some of those villages into here and it can become a living town. Possibly here and here as well. I'll have to see if I can put some people in here. I think somewhere not too far away there is a villager outpost, so that could be a small problem. I know there's a ruined portal here, but I think I saw a villager outpost somewhere as well. So that's the idea. I want to build a castle and a town. But like I say, it's a big project. And it's going to be my first proper big project in this world. So I've got zero idea how long it's going to take to build this. Most likely a couple of months. There should be dirt blocks. Well, they will be grass blocks eventually. So for now, I'm just basically clearing some ground on the inside here to get some sort of space to build what's inside the walls. I haven't started designing that yet. Maybe we will just design and build that together on video. I don't know yet. So, Exciting times. New project. I think it's clean enough now to do a little bit of building in here, and I have started working on a plan for a building inside here. It's going to be up on top of this hill. It's going to be a keep. A medieval kind of keep. So I'm thinking maybe there's an old medieval castle here, and the town is growing outside the castle, but not in the same time period. So the town comes along later. Might be slightly more modern. On the inside of the walls here, we've got a pond over here. I might make this a bit smaller. I think it's a bit big. It runs out under the wall to the river with some mud. And on this side, we've got another pond, which is very shallow. I want to make it a little bit deeper just in that area and make it run out under the wall as well, because on the other side of the wall, well, firstly there's the bit between the wall. On the other side of the wall over here, I've got this natural gap. So if I make it deeper here and here, it can run out onto the wall. I think that'll be pretty cool. Then as I say, there's a keep over here, there's going to be a keep over here, which we will probably have a look at in the next episode. And speaking of next episode, let us say Toodlepip and all of that fancy stuff. And I will see you next time. Thanks all. Bye.